And because capital is scarce, because of scarcity of capital, capital is scarce, because capital is scarce, then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll need always to appraise whatever projects that we would want to go for. If, for instance, you're given, like, or rather you want to invest, say, in these 3 projects, ABC, then, ladies and gentlemen, how do we invest in these 3 projects, in these 3 projects, if, for example, A is to take 10 million, B is to take, for example, 12 million, and C is to take, for example, 13 million. So in total, the total amount we need here will be 35 million. 35 million. And perhaps in our bank account, so this is what is required. And what is available perhaps in our bank account will be, like, say, 30 million. So we've got a shortage here. So with this shortage, ladies and gentlemen, then what do we need to be able to tell between the 3? Which project is the most viable for us? We must be able to appreciate the various types of what here appraisal techniques. So, for example, we know that net present value is one of them. Profitability index is another one, right? So today, ladies and gentlemen, we would want straight away to first of all remind ourselves what we discussed in our last class was about, for us to be able to use this net present value, then, ladies and gentlemen, we would need to appreciate the types of cash flows that we have. And I want to believe that all of us are able to remember the types of cash flows. I want to believe that all of us, ladies and gentlemen, we can remember that number 1, we have what we call irregular cash flows. Those cash flows that will keep on doing what? Fluctuating. So these cash flows that will keep on fluctuating irregular, we said that we shall discount them always using what we call PVIF. PVIF is an acronym for present value interest factor, PVIF. So for PVIF, I would want to see whether there is anybody who will be able to remind us the formula of getting this PVIF. Let me see. The students who attended our last class, who can remind us what is the formula for getting PVIF? Somebody remind us. Is there anybody here who can remind us the formula of getting present value interest factor? Present value interest factor. Anybody in the equation? Anybody in the room who will be able to remind us the formula of getting, ladies and gentlemen, the formula, ladies and gentlemen, of getting PVIF? All of them, they don't want to talk to me. All of them, ladies and gentlemen, there is nobody who is talking to me. Who wants to talk to me? I don't know why. PVIF, I'm waiting to see whether there is anybody who can remind us that great formula. PVIF. PVIF equals rule. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, thank you very much, Stephen. Yes, Stephen amesema irregular cash flows, we shall always discount them using this formula. 1 plus R raised to negative what here? Negative N. Yes. And remember that irregular cash flows are those cash flows that fluctuate. Today you're getting 50, next year you're getting 40, another year 70, so they're irregular. And if they're irregular, this is how we shall always discount them. And then, ladies and gentlemen, number 2, we have here what we call regular. Regular, or what here somebody, the annuity cash flows, the uniform cash flows. Uniform cash flows, we shall always discount them using the mighty, the famous PVIFA. And if you can recall, PVIFA is quite an easy one. First of all, it stands for present value interest factor of an annuity. Present value interest factor of an annuity. And for us to be able to get this PVIFA, the person who taught me told me that you need to take 1 minus this simpler formula. Thank you very much, J. Abayo. So we talk of 1 minus this simpler formula. The simpler formula here is 1 plus R raised to negative N. All over R, all over R, all over R, all over R. All right, all over R, yes, all over R. So it is 1 minus the simpler formula. And then everything, you divide everything by who? By R. Very important for us to appreciate this formula. Very important. So anytime, ladies and gentlemen, they are talking over, listen here. Faith Kimani, listen here. Faith, listen here. So we have in this case, ladies and gentlemen, a good lady here called Faith Kimani. So if Faith Kimani, for example, invests in some education policy. Education policy. This education policy has matured. This is its year of maturity, although the arrangement she has with Jubilee Insurance Company is that now from today, Jubilee Insurance Company, Jubilee Insurance Company will give Faith money, will give Faith Kenya shillings, this is a rich lady, Kenya shillings 8 million per annum. For how many years? For 8 years. For 8 years. And then we have here the cost of capital, which will be abbreviating as COC, for this great lady is 10%. The COC is 10%. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we have Faith coming to you now. Coming to you, Cheriot Kepngeno. You as a finance expert, Faith wants you to advise her on the present value of her cash flows. What is the present value of her cash flows? Total present value. Total present value. So remember, total present value, in this case here, Cheriot Kipngeno. This is a lady who has come to you with a lot of faith, believing that you are a finance expert. So you tell her that you can't remember the first thing I tell Faith, you know what? I can see regularity. I can see uniformity in your cash flow. And because I'm able to see uniformity in your cash flow, then I'll call this an annuity. And for discounting purposes, I'll tell her, I know that I have what you call PVIF. PVIF is for the one-off or the irregular cash flows, which in this case, to discount, we normally use this formula. But I'll tell her, this will not apply in your case because yours is a uniform cash flow. In your case, what we shall apply is what we call PVIFA. And the PVIFA is 1 minus this smaller formula. 1 minus 1 plus R raised to negative N, everything to be divided by R. Everything to be divided by R. All right, I can see somebody already has an answer. So what I'll tell these great ladies, you know what, this can't be applied. Actually, even in the first instance, she never wanted me to use this. I'm giving her the 2 formulas so that she can know that I really know. It's consulting is all about demonstration of broad and a deep understanding of the subject matter. So you're telling her, you know what, this will not be applied. So let's try to compute this together. So you're saying this will be 1 minus 1.1. 1.1 because of what here? Because of this R. R is the required rate of return. It is the cost of capital. The cost of capital is 10%, and you see 10% is the same as what is the same as 0.1. 10% is the same as 0.1. So we talk of 1 plus 0.1, that becomes 1.1 raised to negative N. This lady is going to receive this money for how many consistent years? 8 years. N is the number of years. Divide everything that I get here. I'll come and divide everything that I get there with with 0.1 like that. We divide everything that we get there with 0.1, So here, abracadabra, get your calculator so nicely close to you, and then you press there 1 minus 1.1 raised to minus 8. Know how to raise. The raised looks like these. The raised looks like these in most calculators. So you say 1 minus 1 point, then you 1.1, and then you raise, and then you say minus 8, and then you say equals first. You say equals first. So you say equals, then you should be able to say divided by 0.1, and then you give me this PVIFA. Is there somebody who has got this PVIFA? Is there somebody who can give me this PVIFA figure? Is there somebody who can give me this PVIFA figure? Is there somebody who can give me this PVIFA figure? Anybody who can give me this PVIFA figure? Abracadabra, what do we have there? Somebody. We have J Abayo giving me 5.335. 5.335. I would prefer 4 decimal places because PVIFA and PVIF, we normally write them in 4 decimal places. C in 4 decimal places. 5.3349. Thank you, the Chelsea man. 5.3349. 5.3349. We always prefer writing the PVIFA and the PVIF figures in 4 decimal places. So ladies and gentlemen, the moment I write like that, Then now I am at home. I am at home. I am at home. Because now I know the present valuation will really be all about present valuation now. Present valuation will be all about now taking the cash flow that we have there, multiplying it with the PVIF. So now we shall come here and take the present. We shall come here. So now listen and listen to me very well. Listen and listen to me very well. Great. Listen and listen to me very well. If I want to get the present value of the cash flow, then these really will be a walk in the park. I'll come and talk of total present value to be equal to the cash flow that we have, the 8 million. The 8 million times now the present valuation factor of an annuity. So it will be the 8 million times the PVIFA, which will be 53349. Is there somebody who can give me this figure? 42,679,200. 42,679 million for 2,679,200 Kenyan shillings, like that. Is there somebody who can confirm this figure? Is there somebody who can confirm this figure? 42,67,920. No problem. Those are rounding off errors. They're accepted. But I will go for the Chelsea figure because Chelsea man used exactly this figure that I have here. So then this one for sure will be 920. Faith Kimani, let me ask you a question for sure. Faith, if you're to get this kind of money here today, will you still continue attending my advanced FM classes? Another student in the past told me, let me tell you the truth. I already have this kind of money. I already have this kind of money. 42, not 4 million. So it's 42,679,000, right? Yeah, 920. Thank you very much, Faith. Great. Great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today I would want us to go to something very easy from our past papers. But before I look at this past paper question, illustration number 2. Illustration number 2. Illustration number 2. We have our friend here called Wycliffe. So Wycliffe has a profit before depreciation and tax of 40 million. And then he has a depreciation expense of 10 million. And then we have tax of 30%. Tax of 30%. All right. All right. And then, ladies and gentlemen, he expects to get all these in how many years? Say in 6 years. The cost of capital being used here, is still 10%. So we have somebody called Wycliffe. This is an example of Wycliffe like that. So Wycliffe wants to buy an organization. This organization, ladies and gentlemen, is giving 40 million in a year as profits. It has a dividend of 10 like that. Tax is 30%. N is 6 like that. And then the cost of capital is 10%. And then you are required here to determine the present value of the firm. You determine the present value of the firm. This firm that Wycliffe wants to buy, it's going to give him an income of 40 every year. Depreciation is 10 like that. Tax is 30%. Any number of this project here, special project, will be with him for 6 years. And then we have cost of capital here, which is 10%, ladies and gentlemen. So then what do we do? Remember, we don't discount cash flow, or we don't discount profits. Whenever you are given profits, you must get a way of changing profits to cash flows. So if you allow Mwalimu here, then I'll be able to come and use the longer approach. the longer approach. So solution, the longer approach, we know that our profit before depreciation and tax is 40. So come here and the less depreciation. Depreciation of how much? Remember, for us in finance, depreciation is tax allowable. Depreciation is allowed for taxation. Capital wear and tear, whatever, type with your capital allowance, since that depreciation is allowable. So come and subtract this depreciation of 10. When you subtract this, gives me 30. So I have what we call profit before who? We have profit before tax. So once I get profit before tax, I need to come and share with the taxman this amount, pay some fair share of tax. So come here and the less tax. Tax at what percentage? Tax at 30%. Tax at 30%. So what is 30% of 30? Can somebody advise us? 30% of 30 gives us how much? Gives us 9. Thank you so much. So come and deduct. So 30 minus 9 will end up giving me what figure? 30 minus 9 will end up giving me what figure? 30 minus 9, of course, I know. This is what we call 21. What name do we baptize this 21? What name do we baptize this 21? What do we call this 21, ladies and gentlemen? What do we call this 21, ladies and gentlemen? What do we call this 21, ladies and gentlemen? Patapotea 21. What name do we give it? It's profit after taxation. Thank you very much, Chelsea man. So once I get profit after taxation, how do I change it to cash flow now? The last step. How do I change it to cash flow? The last step. How do we change this to cash flow? How do we change this? We add back depreciation. Thank you so much. We'll come and add back depreciation. So come here and add back depreciation. Add back to get cash flows. Yes. Add back depreciation. So add back depreciation of 10. Whatever I will get here will be known as cash flow. And this cash flow will be cash flow per annum. Will be cash flow per annum. Why? Because our profits, unless we're told otherwise, our profits normally are annual incomes. The same case with depreciation charge, it's an annual expenditure. So unless you're told otherwise, whatever cash flow will be given here will be a per annum cash flow, will be an annual cash flow per annum that I'll be able to receive every year. For how many years? For 6 years. I'll be able to receive these for 6 years. And the moment you tell me that, now for purpose of discounting, then I need to come and compute what we call the PVIFA. PVIFA, of which I'm so sure that most of us, ladies and gentlemen, have forgotten the formula. Most of us must have forgotten the formula of PVIFA. Most of us must have forgotten the formula of PVIFA. PVIFA will be equal to PVIFA. Please try writing down that formula. PVIFA will be equal to 1 minus 1 plus r raised to negative n all over u all over r. Thank you so much, J. Abayo. Right? If it's PVIFA, present value interest factor of an annuity cash flow, this will be the formula, the longer formula we shall be using. So it will be 1 minus this divided by r. So it will be 1 minus 1.1. Remember, r is the cost of capital, which is 10%. So 1 plus 10% is the same as 1.1. Raised to the negative number of years, which are 6 in this case. Then everything to be divided by r alone, which is 0.1. Could you kindly give me this figure? Kindly give me this figure. Could you kindly give me this figure? When you say 1 minus 1.1 raised to negative 6 equals, and then ultimately you say divided by 0.1. What figure are we getting here? What figure are we getting here? What figure are we getting here? How I wish that students were really talking to me this evening. Right? So what do we have there? Somebody. What do we have there? Somebody. Please talk to me. Ah, they're not talking to me. Although I can see so many charts here. I can see so many charts here. Ah, there is one that was given to me by J. Abayo. 4.3553. 4.3553. Is there somebody else who is able to get this figure? 4.3553. I can see some confirmation there. But you see, these are only 2 students really. And I happen to be having a whole 24. I expect to be getting straight away like say 10 answers, so that I can get to choose which one to pick. So I want to pick should be my right of choice. Already, J.O.B.I. has gone ahead to give me the present value. So I would want to ask all of us, are we able, please, even if it's just using the letter Y for yes, all of us, are we able to get this answer? All of us, are we able to get this answer? All of us, are we able to get this answer? All of us, are we able to get this PVIFA? If you guys are not going to talk to me, then straight out I'll say this class should not continue. No, I'm cheating you. But at least now I'm able to see yeses. I can see at least 2 yeses. But unfortunately, I've not seen any good lady. Elizabeth has decided to talk to me. Thank you so much. Great. Now, having gotten these figures and gentlemen, then I can easily come and give them the total present value. So the total present value here will be that 31 cash flow multiplied by 4.3553, which will end up giving me what figures and gentlemen? 31 times this 4.3553 will end up giving me what figure, somebody there? What figure are we getting there, somebody? 31 times this figure. What figure are we getting here, somebody? Somebody, what is the total figure? Total figure will be equal to the total figure will be 135.014. So this represents the total present value of the firm, the value of the firm. So it means that our brother Wycliffe should be willing to part up with this amount maximum to acquire that organization. Great. Now I would want us to do some real practice here by going to our past papers, or by going to our revision kits, and looking at some questions here. Yes, May 2019, question number 5. May 2019, question number 5A. May 2019, question number 5A. For those of you who have got this revision kit, you're looking at page number 6. Please let me know when you are able to get this May 2019, question number 5. And you also happen to be having some link to CASNEB past paper questions. You must be having some link to CASNEB past paper questions. Please open that link, and if possible, please open this particular sitting, May 2019, question number 5A. And the moment you get that question, could you kindly, in this case, you put this emoji that shows muscles. So I'll be waiting to hear from you whether you've been able to get that sitting. Great. They've gotten that. May 2019 question number 5A. So everybody, do we have access to this question? Do we have access to this question? Can Mwalimu tackle the question? There's only one problem with you guys. Is it possible the guys who have already gotten the question, can you share this question paper with us on WhatsApp? Can you share this question paper with us on WhatsApp kindly? Is there somebody who has this question who can share it with me or with the groups you are in on WhatsApp? I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any. Is there anybody who has shared? Really, nobody. So it means, unfortunately, that some of us will be working without the question, right? So we are told there, JESA Tours and Travel is a private limited company in the tourism industry. In order to improve customer service and provide the management with timely and quality information, the company is contemplating to purchase 8 microcomputers at a cost of 100,000 each. Installation cost for the computers will amount to 80,000. It is estimated that once installed, the computers will increase the company's earnings before depreciation and tax from 12 million, 12.5 million. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, if I'm the one doing this question, I would want to get the total cost of the machine. The total cost of the machine. These are low-hanging fruit. It's quite an easy thing to do. So come here and give us the total cost of the machine. So the total cost of the machines, total cost of the machines, we have each machine will go for 100,000 and they are 8 in number. So 100,000 times 8, this gives us 800,000. And of course, you and I are so good. We appreciate the fact that if there are any installation costs should always be capitalized. Installation costs should always be capitalized. They should always be made to be part of what the other cost of this. And the installation cost is 80,000 for all the machines. Is 80,000 for all the machines. So 800 plus 80, this will give us 880,000, like that. So this is the total now outlay. This is the total cost of the machine now. Great. So what are they telling us there? The installation cost for the computers will amount to 80,000. It is estimated that once installed, the computers will increase the company's earnings before depreciation and tax from 12 to 12.5 million annually. The computers are expected to last for 10 years, after which they'll be obsolete with 0 resale value. The operations manager proposes that computers will be useful for 15 years with no resale value. The marketing manager, on the other hand, argues that the company needs the computers for only 5 years, after which they can be disposed of at 50,000. So basically, I can see 3 useful lives. The first one is when N, I can grab this as suppose, the first useful life being proposed there is N being equal to 5 n being equal to 10, and then n being equal to 15. This is what has been proposed there. Like I'll do 3 columns. I'll do 3 columns, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing that I would want to do here is quite a childish one. The first thing I would want to do, depending on the number of years we have as the useful life, I would want to get depreciation here for each scenario. Depreciation for each scenario. Remember depreciation, we normally take cost minus scrap over number of years. I would want to calculate depreciation here simply because, ladies and gentlemen, there is a place where they have told me down there that the company is in the 30% tax bracket. So whenever I see tax, I know that depreciation is relevant. Depreciation must always be computed. So the cost, remember here, I'm taking the total cost, which is 880 minus the scrap value. Can someone tell me, can someone talk to me, if I decide to stay with this machine for 5 years, what will be the resale value after 5 years? What will be the scrap value from the question? If we decide to sell at the end of the 5 years, if we decide to sell at the end of the 5 years, what will be the scrap value? What have they told us? There's somebody who has made an arrangement there, an argument there. There is somebody who has made an argument there. The 4th paragraph, where they're telling us the marketing manager, on the other hand, argues that the company needs the computers for only 5 years, after which they can be disposed of at 50,000 each. So that will be 50, and don't forget that that is each. There are 8 machines divided by number of years. Number of years are 5. Number of years are 5. Could you kindly give me the depreciation per annum? Kindly give me the depreciation per annum. What do we have here? Somebody depreciation per annum. J Abayo tells me 96. And remember, like here, so many students were leaving this 80 out. They forgot that installation cost must always be capitalized and used for purpose of computing what here? Somebody depreciation. So somebody is telling me 96 here. Thank you so much. What if we push this useful life to 10 years? If we do so, ladies and gentlemen, the depreciation here will be 880 minus, they have told us, anything that is more than 10 years old cannot really fetch anything there in the second-hand market. No fair value after 10 years. That's what they told us in this paragraph, paragraph number 3, actually. The company, the computers were expected to last for 10 years, after which they'll be obsolete with 0 resale value. So no scrap, no scrap. So come and divide this by 10, which gives me 88, like that. Which gives me 88 like that. From there, ladies and gentlemen, we go to when it's 15, the same. It will be 880, the initial cost, minus the scrap. It will be too old. Divided by 15, this I can't really guess. Could you kindly give me this answer? 880 minus 0 divided by 15. What am I going to get? What am I going to get? Can somebody in this case here give me this answer? Can somebody in this case here give me this answer, ladies and gentlemen? So interesting. Remember, you're getting this class, great class here from RCM Online College, and I invite all of you, ladies and gentlemen, to register these subjects with us online. This is our number. This is our number, 0719 525,000. 0719 525,000 is our number. It's our number. Please hit us, call us. We shall be able to give you very good arrangements. Very good arrangements. So Chelsea tells me that this depreciation will be 58.67. Is that true? Is there somebody who can confirm this figure? 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 Anybody who can confirm this figure? They don't want to talk to me so much. And when they don't talk to me nicely, I feel that there is a disconnect. After all, I've invited so many students, there could be a possibility that some of them are not even doing AFM. Because they can't confirm the figure here, this, by this. They can't confirm that figure, it tells me that there is a problem somewhere. They don't want to pick calculator at all, so chances are they may not be FM students. Can somebody confirm that figure? Is that figure correct? Is this figure correct? 58.67? Correct or not correct? Google. I don't want us to go, it's quite 58 point. Yeah, that's okay. That's quite similar to what Chelsea has given me. That's okay. Cheers then. Great. Now, after that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll simply look at the benefit now. What is the benefit of bringing these machines on board? What is the benefit? The annual benefit. What is the annual benefit of bringing these machines on board? That our profits will increase in profit before depreciation and tax. By how much? The benefit. I'm trying to do the cost benefit analysis. So I've been told here in paragraph number 2, installation cost for all the computers will amount to 80,000. It is estimated that once installed, the computers will increase the company's EBIT, the company's earnings before depreciation and tax, from 12 million to 12.5 million annually. So it means here it is 12.5 minus, these were in terms of thousands, remember? These were in terms of thousands, remember? So then these one should be 12,500 minus 12,000. My figures in thousands, cut 3 zeros in thousands. So when I bring these machines, when I install these machines, we are told that our profit will increase from 12 million to 12.5 million, right? So I'm able to see straight out that there's a benefit each year of 500,000. So in terms of thousands, ladies and gentlemen, per annum, the annual benefit of bringing this thing will be 500, 500, 500. They have told us there, if you read the question very well, ladies and gentlemen, what they've told us there is that installation cost for all the computers will amount to 80,000. It is estimated that once installed, the computers will increase the company's earnings before depreciation and tax from 12 million to 12.5 million. All right. So in this case here, we are moving from 12 to 12.5. So the benefit there is the difference. It's 500 per annum. Remember, I'm looking at the annual benefit per annum. Regardless of the number of years, it's 500 per annum. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, basically, this is what I told you. This is your profit before. This is your profit before. This will be like your profit now before depreciation and tax for these computers alone. And once now I get this, everything now boils down quite easily. Please go the back there and double underline these figures. Go back there and double underline these figures. Double underline the figures. Yes. And then now you come here and less depreciation. This is 96. This is 88. This is 58.67. Subtract this downwards. Please give me the figures here. So whatever I'll be getting will be called a profit before what? Before tax. Whatever I shall be getting will be called a profit before tax. So like now 500 minus 96, give me a figure. Right. This minus, of course, I know that there is this other shorter formula, but I don't work with that in AFM. AFM is a serious paper. Let's always be going for the longer ways, which makes sense. I'll be telling you why. I'll be telling you why. Please, I need these answers. I need these answers because we need to do great things here. So Chelsea tells me this is 404. Thank you so much, Chelsea. How about the next one? How about the next one? How about the 412? Thank you very much, Chelsea. This 412. And then now we have that and that one. 500 minus 558.67. 441.33. 441.33. Is that correct? Is that correct? 441.33. I'm only getting answers from one student. I'm only getting answers from one student. So I hope Somebody could even just tell me, yes, those figures are correct, just to confirm. Because you can see I'm recording for my future generations. So I don't want these future generations here to start asking me, how did you get that number? And yet I was being given those numbers here by my students here. Please, somebody confirm to us that these figures, all of them are correct by just saying Y for yes. Y for yes. Are they correct? 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 Is there somebody who already has these figures? Let's say yes. Somebody say yes. At least we are doing FM. Everybody saying yes. Thank you so much. So now from there, please come here and give us the tax. The examiner has given us tax of what percentage? The examiner has given us taxation there. The examiner has given us taxation there of 30%, tax of 30%, tax of 30%. So tax at 30%. So could you kindly give me these figures? 30% of this, 30% of that, 30% of the last one. What figures are we getting there? Stephen, thank you very much. What figures are we getting there? 30% of 404. 30% of 404. of 404. What do we have here? 30% of 404. What do we have? We have 121.2. Thank you very much. 121.2. This Chelsea man may make me start supporting Chelsea. That is the speed Chelsea plays their football with. I think I need to start supporting Chelsea, right? The last one is 132.4. So is there someone who can confirm these figures for us? Simply say yes if you think they're correct. 30% of that, 30% of this, 30% of this, 30% of that. Correct. Thank you very much, Bio. So from there, come and give us the famous part. Give us the famous part. Give us the famous part. So part, now we are taking this. So 282.8, 282.8, 282.8. Thank you very much. We have 288.4, 288.4, 288.4, and then now we have the last one, which is 308.93. We rest a little bit for people to be able to really catch up with us. So that's what we call profit after who? Profit after tax. Profit after tax. So after we get this profit after taxation, ladies and gentlemen, who can be advising us as we wait, ladies and gentlemen, for other students to catch up? What do you think would be the next thing to be done? What do you think would be the next thing to be done? What do you think would be the next thing to be done? We add back depreciation. So we add back depreciation. Add back depreciation, yes. Add back depreciation. Because we want to get cash flows, right? The second cash flow, somebody is saying, is 376.4. Somebody confirm this cash flow. Is it 376.4 or is it what my friend Chelsea man had given to us? Is there somebody? I second that. Nobody has said, nobody has seconded really. J. Abayo is telling us Mwalimu straight away grew, but you see 288.1. Abayo. Check again. Check again. It can't be that high, 370. It can't be 376. Check again, Abayo. Check again. Check again. Oh, I know what he's saying. already has gone to the cash flows. I know what he's saying now. So this is the card depreciation 96. So we have here 88. We have here 58.67. What Abayo is telling us here so confidently is that the cash flow here should be 376.1, 376.4. Thank you so much. That's what Abayo is telling us. The last one there, second last, should be 376.4. 376.4. So I'm waiting for other students to give me these other figures. I'm waiting for other students to give me those other figures. Chelsea tells me 378.8. This one is 378.8. Thank you so much. Third is 367.6. 367.6. Thank you very much. So these are our cash flows. These are cash flows. But remember, we call them operational. We call them operational cash flows. They are coming out of our operations. They are coming out of what are our profits. They are operational cash flows. So can someone tell me these operational cash flows, according to your understanding, are they supposed to be irregular cash flows or annuities? What are they supposed to be for us? Are they supposed to be annuities or irregular? Annuities or irregular? Annuities or irregular? Can someone talk to me? It doesn't matter whether you'll be wrong. It doesn't matter whether you'll be wrong. So long as you talk to us, that is the most important thing. The most important thing is for you to talk to us, ladies and gentlemen. It is saying irregular. It is saying irregular. Now, listen and listen to me very well. Please don't compare like this. It's going to the next different. No, don't do like that. This cash flow you are seeing here is independent. Whenever you see this thing, it means that the profit you have is an annuity profit, annual profit. Even this depreciation is per annum, so divided by number of years. So this is an annuity that is what here independent. So I'm working on this as an annuity which is independent. This is another annuity which is independent. This is another annuity which is independent. So don't look at, this, it will have been regular if this was, for example, year 1, year 2, year 3. It's not a time series. These are quite independent proposals coming from 3 different people who do not know what the useful life will be. So I'm going to appraise this as an independent proposal, this as an independent proposal, and the other one as an independent proposal. So let me ask you a question. Has the examiner given me the cost of capital here in this question? Has the examiner given me the cost of capital? Has the examiner given me the cost of capital, PVIFA? Has the examiner given me the cost of capital? Cost of capital. Has the examiner in the question given me the cost of capital? Oh, yes. He has told me that the cost of capital is 24%, just before the requirement. The cost of capital is 24%. So here I'll be reading the PVIFA 24% for how many years? 5 years. Here I'll be reading PVIFA 24% is common, but how many years this time around? 10 years. 10 years. And then we have PVIFA here, 24% is common. How many years? 15 years. 15 years. So could you be kind to me and give me those PVIFAs? Yeah, thank you very much, Jay Abayo. Please come and read for us. Is there somebody who has got this table? There is the annuity table that is normally given at the back of the book, at the back of the examination papers. At the back of the examination papers, there will be always some table given there, and I would want someone to help us read for us PVIFA 24%, 5 years, PVIFA 24%, 10 years, PVIFA 24%, 15 years, like that. All right. But if you wish, you can also use the formula. If you decide to use the formula, then this will be 1 minus 1.24 raised to minus 5. all over 0.24 if you wish. This will be 1 minus 1.24 raised to negative 10 all over 0.24. This will be 1 minus 1.24 raised to negative 15 all over 0.24. I hope you still remember the formula. I hope you still remember the formula of PVIFA. I hope you still remember the formula of PVIFA. Remember that generally my PVIFA formula is 1 minus 1 plus r raised to negative n. Everything to be divided by r. Everything to be divided by r. So this will be 1 plus 0.24, which is 1.24. So is there somebody who can give me these figures? Somebody give me these figures. Somebody give me these figures. Somebody give me these figures. Somebody give me the first figure of PVIFA. PVIFA. If I were you, I would take a calculator and say 1 minus 1.24. The last one, somebody is telling me is 4.0013. Thank you very much for starting from there. The last one. The last one is like that. Chelsea gives me 2.7454 here, 2.7454 there. And then the second one, this gentleman is telling me, is 3.6819. 3.6819. Thank you and thank you so much. Thank you and thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now from there, please go ahead and give me the present value of the annuities. Give me the present value of the annuities. So come and give me here present value of annuities. So take these figures that you have here multiplied by your annuity cash flow, 378.8. This one here multiplied with your second annuity, which was 376.4. This one here multiplied with your third annuity, which is 367.6. So you kindly give me this figure. What is the present value? What is the present value of the annuity cash flows? Present value of the annuity cash flows. Present value of the annuity cash flows. Present value of the annuity cash flows. What do we have there? Somebody talk to me. Somebody, life is good. Life is good. Life is good. Second one is 1385. You know, any online class, if you're not so fast in giving us figures, you can't understand. Online class is about you always wanting to play the ball. You must play the ball. So the second one is 1385. 1385.87. You must give us, you must make your hands dirty. You must make your hands dirty. You must make your hands dirty. Third is 1470.88. The third, 1470.88. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, it's only two students who are talking to me. The students are not talking to me at all. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. Is there somebody who could be having the present value of this one here? The first one now. Take this time that. First is 1039.96. 1039.96. Please underline once. Underline once. These are very important figures. I can even put a highlighter on them. Very important figures. I can put a highlighter on them. Now, apart from these regular cash flows, these operational cash flows, do we have any other type of cash flows? Yes, we have the scrap values. Scrap value. Terminal cash flow. We call them terminal cash flow. Terminal cash flow. Remember, we only had one scrap value, which was actually here, was it 50? I think it was 50 times 8, 400. When n is 5. If you recall, when n is 5, when n is 5, when n is 5, they told us, the marketing manager, paragraph number 5, the marketing manager on the other end argues that the company needs the computers for only 5 years, after which they can be disposed of at 50,000. So 50,000 times 8 is 400. Remember, these other two periods, no scrap value at all. So this one is a one-off figure that I'll be enjoying at the end of year 5. When I sell the machines, at the end of year 5, I'll be able to get a cool 400. I'll be able to get a cool 400. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen and listen to me very well. Listen and listen to me very well. Since this is a one-off figure, it's a one-off figure being received at the end of year 5, I shall use PVIF to discount this. This one not PVIF, it's not an annuity, I'll use PVIF. So remember, PVIF, the formula is 1 plus R raised to negative n. So then this will be 1 plus 0.24. It will be 1.24 raised to negative 5. It's only the one of negative 5 that I'm interested in. The others are zeros. The others are zeros. So can somebody give me this figure? Somebody, 1.24 minus 5. 1.24 raised to minus 5. What do we have here? What do we have here? Abayo is giving me 0.34, 0.3411 like that. The others are not interested in them because I know them with multiplied by 0 will be 0. So then could you kindly give me the present value of the scrap? Give me the present value of the scrap. Give me present value of the scrap. So present value of the scrap, what do we have? We have this 400 times this figure. 400 times this figure. Can somebody give me this figure? 400 times 0.3411. 136.44. 136.44. Of course, this is 0, 0. 0, 0. You can underline just once. And these are very important figures for me. These very important figures. Now, the only thing that I need to do is to come here and give my examiner the total present value for both operational cash flows and the present value of the scrap of the terminal cash flow. So come here and they give me the total present value. The total present value. So you're taking this plus this. Give me the total present value. This present value of annuity plus the present value of the scrap. So this plus this. What figure are we getting? Somebody, you're almost finishing. You're almost finishing. And then I'll be able to leave you guys. So like now I'm being told by Abayo 1176.4. 1176.4. And then we have this one, of course, will be 1385.87. Then we have this one here will be 1470.88. So having gotten the total present value, to change this to net present value, you will come and less the initial outlay. Less the initial outlay. Are you able to remember the initial outlay? Are you able to remember the initial outlay? Is there somebody who can remember the initial outlay? Is there somebody who can remember the initial outlay? Is there somebody who can remember the initial outlay? It was 808, isn't it? Initial outlay was 880, regardless of the number of years, regardless of the number of years, ladies and gentlemen, initial outlay was the same throughout. Then what is our net present value? What is our net present value? The first scenario, what will be our net present value? Should be this minus this. We have an answer. With the Chelsea man, I'm supposing he must have gotten lost somewhere. So we have 296.4. 296.4, thank you so much. How about the second net present value? How about the second net present value? The second net present value will be 505.87. 505.87. And then lastly, we have this one here. Lastly, we've got this one here, 1470.88 minus, which is 590.88. So, of course, they never asked us about which one is the optimal. Of course, the very optimal one will be having these machines with how many years? 15 years, staying with them full length. Because the more we stay with them, we can see the higher the net present value, although that was not the question. The question was quite categorical in Roman 1. They wanted us to give them the expected net present value. Roman 1, they want us to give them the expected net present value. Roman 1, they want us to give them the expected net present value. So then, ladies and gentlemen, I have my net present values here. All right. When n is 5, when n is 10, and when n is 15, when n is 5, this is 296.4, this is 505.87, this is 590.88, multiplied by the probability. The probability is given there. You can see for 5 years it's 0.2 probability. For 10 years it's 0.5. The other one is 0.3. So this is your x. This is your probability. Whenever you see x and the probabilities, simply multiply them. Use the concept of multiply them. So come and create a column up here for xp. Create a column there for xp. So we have this and this will end up giving me what figure? Somebody here? 296.4 times 0.2 gives me what figure? Gives me what figure? This times 0.2. Please give me a figure here. Please give me a figure here. So the third is 177.26. 177.26. Thank you very much, Abayo. 177.26. Any other person who can really help us to get the others? To get the others? Any other person who can help us to get the others? What do we have? Somebody here. The first one, 59.24. 59.24, right? All right. The second is 252.93. Thank you so much. 252.93. Right. So come here and give us the total, which will be the summation of the XP. Okay. So you add everything there. You add everything there. You add everything there, and whatever you shall get will be your expected net present value. Will be expected net present value. Is there somebody who can give me the figure? Is there somebody who can give me the figure? Is there somebody who can give me the figure? Is there somebody who can give me the figure? Is there somebody who can give me the figure? Total expected net present value. Total expected net present value. The first one I'm told is supposed to be 9.28. 9.8 because of this 0.2. 0.28. Thank you so much. So then what will be the total for the 3? Total for the 3. Total for the 3. Total for the 3. When you add them up together, total for the 3, when you add them up together, we have 489.479. 489.479, like that. So it's positive, and therefore the project is viable. Regardless of the duration we shall stay with these machines, we can see that total, when you aggregate everything together, you're getting a positive net present value, meaning that the project is what year? Viable. Don't even be worried over how long you will stay with this particular what year, with this particular computers. Let's go ahead and buy them. Go ahead and buy them. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would want to take this opportunity once more to welcome you guys to our online classes. This is RCM Online College. RCM Online College, all our classes are what here? Through Zoom, through videos, right? Our number is 0719 525,000. Our videos are so nice. We really want to sell them to you because they are offline. You happen, so long as you've been able to download those videos correctly, you will have